Boston.
We talked about it yesterday. This is the fertilizer factory is 15 plus people killed, possibly.
Right, but 160 injured.
Yeah,
or
like 30,
more.
30 people.
No, I mean,
they think might have died.
They haven't given the death toll yet. Sorry.
I'm going your direction on
Okay.
this, which is, I said this last night, that Boston is 3 people dead and quite a few injured. Mm-hmm. But it's 3 people dead. There's that many people during the course of this podcast, that many people times 10 die out on the highways.
Just because of this podcast.
Just because, no, I am. I'm saying because of the podcast.
Oh, sorry, you're still with mine.
Yeah, still with it.
Yeah.
So now you have 15 people dead, but that's the whole thing about, we're not really into math. We're into feelings, Like, we don't do math when it comes to solving whatever ills our society has, and we're not really into it when it comes to body counts. We should be. Mm-hmm. Like, we should just go, what kills more people? This kind of cancer or that kind of cancer? Or what kills, secondhand smoke? Doesn't kill anybody, but yet we're pretty obsessed with secondhand smoke. AIDS, equal opportunity killer, except for if you're heterosexual, probably not, but it doesn't matter. Like, we got a message to drive home. But my point is every time we take 10 minutes talking about something that isn't a real problem, we take 10 minutes away from talking about something that is a problem and that could possibly be solved. And I would like this country just sort of done, whether it's tragedies or it's math scores, just fucking focus on the numbers and let's work it out. But we don't really work that way.
All right, so that's actually a pretty good point, but it's very close to being a dumb point. So what do I mean? Well, look, if it were the case that the explosion at the fertilizer plant was 100% an accident, then I think Carolla's point is ridiculous and dumb. Because in one case you have this terrorism that we could have done something about, right, which is one of the reasons why people are obsessed about it, and this fertilizer plant that was just an accident. So, I mean, why would you dwell on that and talk about that ad nauseum if there's nothing you could have done to stop it? So in that scenario, I would actually get the obsession with the Boston bombing over something like the fertilizer plant explosion. But he actually happens to be right, probably by accident, because the fertilizer plant explosion, where, yes, the numbers are higher, more dead people, more injured people, the reason why we should care a lot about that, and we should be just as outraged, if not more outraged about that than the Boston bombing, is because it could have been avoided at the fertilizer plant. Because the last time that plant was inspected was 1985. There's lax regulations that lead to problems like this. If we had tough, efficient regulations and we had, yearly checks and made sure everything was running properly, then it could have been avoided. Look, because of OSHA, which is one of the regulatory bodies, not being able to go around and really do effective regulation and check places, we have had 4,500 deaths at the workplace in the year 2010 alone. Those are 4,500 preventable deaths. So in this case, Carolla's exactly right, because it's just what's more, from an emotional perspective, what should we focus on more? Oh my God, there was terrorism and people died. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on that, because of course you should. You should talk about it a lot, and they do deserve our deepest sympathies, and they do deserve a lot of our time. But so do the people who died at the fertilizer plant, which was also something we could have prevented. And more people died at the fertilizer plant. So yes. Now, of course, Carolla can't help himself that in the middle of a good point, he makes some small, stupid points. Yeah, secondhand smoke doesn't kill anybody. Really, Adam? Really? Tell me, when did you get your doctor's degree? When did you become, somebody who's a researcher about secondhand smoke and the effects of cigarettes? Come on, man, of course secondhand smoke kills people. I've seen the studies. I don't know what studies he's reading. He's not reading any studies. He's just making it up as he goes along. But other than his little stabby, ridiculous points, overall, yeah, I think he makes a good point. And one more last thing on this here. I read a headline earlier today. 5 people got killed in Washington in a shootout. Right? And then you add that on top of the gun statistics, we already know that there's 30 gun deaths on average in the United States every single day. There's 11,000 gun deaths on average per year in the U.S. Every other modernized industrial country is below 100 gun deaths per year. I mean, we're way above them. But those deaths, well, they don't matter. We can't even pass a watered-down background check bill to try to avert that, right? So where's the moment of silence for the people who died in the shootout earlier today? Where's the moment of silence for the 30 people that die on a daily basis? Where's the moment of silence for the 11,000 people that die every year? Well, we don't care about those people, but we're supposed to focus solely on one event and talk about that nonstop. The only explanation for it is emotionalism over realism.